Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another year of the Pokemon SWSH Draft League. This is week one. I'm so excited and nervous at the same time because I don't know what the freak's going to happen. But here we go. We're going to have some good battles. Just a disclaimer to the teams that are partaking. Again, I do win about 2/3 of the time against a computer. So if you are the computer team this week and you lose, doesn't mean you have a bad team. That's just how the percentages usually work out. If you are someone controlled by me and you lose to the computer, it is going to happen occasionally. Doesn't necessarily mean bad team either. Could just be bad picks for this week, or it could be something that lucky and unfortunate happened, like fissure hit or something. So, with all that out of the way, let's get the first battle set up here. Our first battle is last year's champion, the Great Garchomp, who I will be in control of, playing against the Pokemon Power. I'll leave those logos up for the time being, but of course we'll ditch them once we get started here. Let's see here. You're going to see me checking my right side because I'm texting the other player that is representing the computer, the CPU player. So I will have to make sure they're on the same page as me, so you will see me looking down occasionally. Let's see, this first one would be... Yes, this is the Great Garchomp's lineup for the day. I hit the wrong button because I've been playing other games, and the A button is in a different spot on those. Okay. Alright, what in the world are they doing? Do you have it? Just a simple yes or no. You text me that you have it done, or you text me that you don't. What's with all the other texts I'm getting here? We're already connected. Why do you want to know if we're connected? That's what happens when you work with other people. Sometimes you're not on the same wavelength. Alrighty, let's see. Alright, there we go. We got it going. Again, I'll leave the logos up for now. Once we start, I'll take them down. I'm pretty sure that Iris, the owner of this team, wanted Hippowdon starting, so I'm just going to go straight down the list here. I wonder what if the Power picked the lead or not. If they didn't, I mean, I would assume Tyranitar, because 3 of those Pokemon work in Sandstorm. Actually, the logos are small enough this year. This might still work. I'll leave them up there for a second and see how it looks. If it blocks too much of the screen, I'll take them down. Oh boy. Yep, blocks too much of the screen. Alright. Let's go. Now you're going to see me looking over here because I also have it on my TV here, so that's going to be more tempting to look at my 55-inch instead of looking at my computer screen. Let's see. As far as what we're going to do... It might go for Dragon Dance. I'm so torn here between, like, do I go Earthquake or Fissure, or even are they even going to stay in? I'm going to go Fissure and see if we get lucky. We went first. Oh my gosh, we landed the first Fissure of the season. Well, that's an example of chaos right there. They're arguably the best Pokemon. The best Pokemon for the other team. The best Pokemon for the other team goes down in one shot because of Fissure. Unreal. Like, that's how we're going to kick off the season, really? Oh my goodness. Okay, that's one way to start things off. Oh, but now I got a decision. Do I stay in and just go for Fissure nonsense again, or do I switch? Do we have any... I mean, we could put Milotic in, but I'm pretty sure that thing has sheer cold. That's also why we're not throwing Cresselia in right away. They could literally just do what we did to Tyranitar. I think we go Fissure again. And if we die, we just put something else in for free next turn. Hippowdon hangs on somehow. Does not land the second fissure. Darn it. That would have been incredible. I mean, it's incredible it landed the first one, honestly. But I'm not going to bother with Slack Off. There's no way we're going to survive to have a chance to do Slack Off. Yeah, that's what I thought. Walrein gets the knockout. What a start to this, though. Gosh. We don't have Sturdy, so that's not going to be great against Walrein. You're bad against Ice. It's got to be either Milotic or Cresselia. And both are going to have to worry about Sheer Cold. I think I'm going to put Milotic in and see if it can do what it can do. I guess if we could bulldoze enough to slow down the Walrein, we'd have a chance to have something else come in and beat it afterwards, maybe. Because we're sure as heck not going to do much with our other attacks against it. All the one-hit knockout moves are landing on the first try. Alright, well there went that idea. I mean, to be fair, that makes up for the Tyranitar thing. Like, they're both... Like, oh my gosh, though. Like, we landed one Bulldoze. We might be able to pull off getting Steelix in there. But again, we don't... If we had Sturdy, I would go for it, because we could Iron Defense, survive, and then try Body Press. I don't know if I want to try just Body Press as is, though. Surely they won't be lucky enough to land Sheer Cold twice in a row, right? Right? Like, surely they won't. We just get, like, one Calm Mind up, then I'll take a shot at it. Alright, there we go. I like that. Sandstorm is gone. I'm not going to get too greedy here. I'm just going to go for Psychic. Okay, I got some damage on it at least, and its defense is dropped. Alright, it misses the Sheer Cold there. So, we're looking pretty good in that regard. Alright, I think we're going to get it. We sure did. Okay. I accidentally put the Walrein lost to Milotic. That's why it's taking me a second. Gotta correct my records here. There we go. Alright. Are they going to do something? Are you gonna... Hello? There we go. Jeez. Okay. Let's call mine again because it's a steel type. It's mostly a special attacker. It does have body press though, so they might try to go that route, but it wouldn't be very effective. That's what they're going with, okay. I guess I have Steelix. I mean, it wouldn't want body press either, but it can handle the other attacks. What are their remaining Pokemon? Rhyperior, Moltres. Yeah, I don't want to risk getting the other two injured here. We'll go Psychic and just hope for the best, do as much damage as we can. I mean, that honestly did a little bit more than I was expecting. Alright, they're 1 for 1 on Thunder. They get the paralysis on the first Thunder. Okay. Great. Awesome. Glad that happened. I was going to say, I don't think we're going to have enough time to set up Steelix for it. We're just going to have to hope Steelix can survive one body press and then dish a body press back or a high horsepower back. Alright, it's going for it. It's not going to be very effective. Yep, okay. They probably should have been going flash cannon. We do have the Calm Mind up though, so... Psychic again! Oh, now they're trying the flash cannon. Of course we're fully paralyzed. Of course. I didn't state so earlier because I'm used to us doing the Sword and Shield League last year. We don't Dynamax. That's not something we're doing in this league. Trying to keep it simple for newer players. Alright, we're a little bit lower on health than I'd like us to be, but we do take out the Magnezone. Alrighty, 2 apiece remaining. Alright, Rhyperior is out there. I would have actually kind of expected the Moltres, to be honest. It's an interesting choice. Like, why? Is it because it has Mega Horn? I still feel like you should save that for Steelix and for Altaria, though. We're going to try to Moonlight on the off chance we get the chance. Okay, we're not going to get the chance. Cresselia goes down. I forgot we were paralyzed there for a second, I'll be honest. I mean, we wouldn't have been able to switch and do much anyway, but that kind of... If we weren't paralyzed and we would have gone first, that would have changed things a little bit there. We wouldn't have defeated it, but it would have had damage on it already. That's gonna hurt. Let's see, so I did about 80. They'll do about 40 this next time because of the iron defense. Rhyperior is kind of a big boy himself, or I'd go heavy slam. I'm going to try body press since we did get the iron defense up. Come on, do enough to help Altaria at least. Okay, I'll take it. That's pretty good considering the solid rock ability that that Rhyperior has. Like, it's going to take out Steelix, but that was a good hit by the Steelix. Alright. Getting the wall range sheer cold to work on I'm blanking out, Milotic really turned the game back around to make this even again. Alright, Altaria's left, but if Altaria can get around it, Altaria versus Moltres could be a very interesting battle. I think it would favor the Altaria, to be honest. The real question is going to be, can Altaria do enough to defeat the Rhyperior? And that's why it's very important I decide here. Dragon Claw would do 120, essentially, since we're a Dragon type. Iron Tail could be 200 if it hits. Rhyperior's got enough defense. I'm going to take the chance, and I'm going to run the calculations later. We missed, of course we did. Well, I took the chance, and when you gamble, sometimes that happens. Our first winner of the season is the computer, the Pokemon Power, defeating last year's defending champs. I'm actually going to take a minute here to see what is the... Well, first I'm going to click this. What are the calculations on that? Okay, with Dragon Claw... Yes, Rhyperior most likely survives. If we get a high damage roll, maybe we defeat it. But it's more likely than not to survive at that range. So Iron Tail was our best shot to, like, if we made contact, we knew for sure it was going down. But, of course, we didn't make contact. So, the Iron Tail miss, and then both sides landing a one-hit knockout. That's pretty interesting. All right, well, we got one in the books, everybody. Final score of that one would be 2-0 power the way that we do these. Because we go by how many Pokemon are left. If we ever have a situation where the time limit comes in and one side has more Pokemon remaining than the other, the one with the most Pokemon remaining would win. So like 2-1 or something like that. If they have the same amount of Pokemon remaining, then we would do the best we could to recreate the remaining scenario for those last two Pokemon and play that out. Alright, next one will be the Squirtle Squad. And the Harper's Fairy Haunter. Man, I hate that, though. I lost to the computer literally in the opening battle of the season. So, that sucks. But again, congrats on the Power for picking a good enough team to win. You know? These two are a little random with how they do their picks, so I'm not sure what to expect from either team here. The one I'm controlling or the other team. So, yeah. I'm making sure this person is connected this time. So we don't have a million questions like before. Yep, they're on it this time. Okay. I was told to pick Heatran first, so that's what we're doing. Raikou to start, and Heatran. Surely they're not going to stay in with Raikou, right? Like, surely they're not. Nope, they're staying in. Okay. I can take the logos down now, but at least everyone got to see their logos now. Actually, hang on a sec. I might be able to do something cool here. Nah. I don't think it's going to work, and I'm wasting time experimenting. Okay. I guess Fire Blast again. It does have Aura Sphere. I think we'll survive that. Yep. 2 for 2 on Fire Blast. Do we have anything that can switch into that Aura Sphere? Alrighty. We just need to hit it once. We'll go Psychic. Raikou is faster, it uses Thunderbolt, and the Calm Mind makes a difference. Alright, that's not great to see. Kingdra's gonna be our best shot here because everything else is weak to something. We'll just waterfall it. This should be a neutral hit. I mean, it's gonna hurt because of the Calm Mind, but we should survive it. Yep. Alright, Raikou goes down to Kingdra. I'm gonna save King. I'm gonna try to save Kingdra, I think. I'm not sure, honestly. Because, like, their team is mostly fire. Of course, then again, Regirock can work. Both these teams are pretty much... Okay. Dragon Dance is not going to help Dragon Pulse at all because it's special, so we're just going to go right in the Pulse. We're already faster, so if I do decide to go the Iron Head route, we can. Why would you Rain Dance? We have Swift Swim, I'm pretty sure. Do we have Swift Swim? Am I making that up? No, do they not know I have Swift Swim? I'm very confused by that decision. Very confused. Yeah, why didn't you just Ice Beam me before? That was very weird. And again, with all their fire types, that's gonna hurt their fire. Like, what was that decision? I'm very confused. Like, what was the thought process in that whole sequence? I mean, this Charizard knows Hurricane, so, like, we do have a move that's gonna hit no matter what in the rain here. Yeah, what was the thought process there? Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, that was something, alright. My confidence in beating the computer is being restored slowly. That kind of sucks since this is a physically attacking Charizard for the most part. But at the same time, like, we do have Hurricane while the rain's up, so I mean, again, the opponent helping us out. Alright, you used agility. So now you'll just go in the... Yeah, okay, I don't know what's going on here with their decision-making in this game. We'll go Hurricane again if we don't get one shot. We did not get one shot. Hurricane will land because we're in the rainstorm. Alrighty, Charizard coming through in the rain here. Exactly what you expect, right? Exactly what you expect. Charizard coming through in the rain, of all things. Pokemon, man, this is why I love it. You never know what the heck's gonna happen. Alright, Entei coming in is a lot scarier. I don't think we really want to switch anything into Entei. Because, like, if I put Heatran in, it's going to get hit hard, with the exception of if it's a fire move, which they'd be dumb to use fire against Charizard. So, and Regirock, we want to save because it is super effective against Entei We don't want it to take any unnecessary damage before it's in. I'm just going to Hurricane because that's worked for us so far. Plus, we had that attack drop. Charizard lands the 70% accurate Hurricane first try. There we go. And we get the Confusion. Entei fights through it and lands a Stone Edge. That's a dead Charizard. Charizard, though, great showing in this battle, though. Let's get Regirock in there. Alright, Entei's confused. It fights through it, and Iron Tails. Would have been nice if we could have got ours to work last battle. Stone Edge. Entei goes down to the Regirock. Alright, just Rapidash left. I'm not as afraid of that. However, yeah, since we have Heat Train in the back too, I'm going to play it safe and do Earthquake. It might not be enough to one-shot it since we're not a ground type, but like, if Rapidash gets damaged... Yeah, because this thing has high horsepower, so like that could be really bad for Heat Train, actually. Ooh, that really could be bad for Heat Train. You know, on second thought, I'm going to go Stone Edge because we might only get one chance to hit it. It's bound to be faster than Heat Train is. Regirock survives. I probably could have done 2 Earthquakes. And now, of course, it's going to make me regret not going for Earthquake. Of course. All right, come on, Regirock. I'm not going to lie, the hesitation there made me think he missed it again. Regirock gets 2 knockouts, and that is a 2-0 victory for the Harper's Ferry Haunter. Alright, that puts me back to 1-1 against the computer this week. Good stuff there. Good stuff. Alright. Our third matchup of the day. If I can find it on here again. Smooch 'em or lose 'em is the computer. And Captain Spiro's crew is the team I'm representing. I'm excited for these two teams, especially Captain Spiro's crew, because this might be the best team they've ever had, like, in all honesty. They've had seasons where they were sort of the punching bag of the league. I don't mean that to be too disrespectful, but like they were 1-29 in their first 2 years. But I think this team's going to be at least a team that's close to like 500, like winning half their games. So I've got some good expectations for them this season. Alrighty. Now they did not designate a lead, but I'm gonna lead Pelipper because it sets up the rain that works just so well with the other 4 Pokemon on this team. It'll be interesting to see what the computer does with that lineup. That's an like bringing the Ninetales against an all-water team was an interesting choice. I know from speaking to the manager of that team that they are probably not going to keep Ninetales very long on their team. But still interesting to bring them against the all-water team just for the sake of getting rid of them. Because in our League of Pokemon has to play in a they have to at least be brought for a battle even if they don't come out of the Pokeball. And, yeah. Alright, they're leading with Jigglypuff. This will be interesting. I don't remember the moveset that we gave Jigglypuff. I wonder... I mean, it's going to have a normal move and a fairy move, obviously, but I don't know what else it's going to have. Hurricane, because it's less likely to miss. It's not going to miss, unlike Hydro Pump might. And we won't know what the Jigglypuff was going to do. All right. Well, that's one way to start the battle. Let's see here. What in the world are they doing now? Taking their sweet old time again is what they're doing. Come on, man. What are you doing? I get you might not know Pokemon as well as me, but, like, come on. Munchlax. Really, you follow... Okay, follow up the Jigglypuff with a Munchlax. To be fair, Munchlax was not terrible last year. It wasn't great, but, like, it did something some of the time, you know? Go Hydro Pump this time, and we don't miss. That's probably a knockout. Nope. Bulky Munchlax. I was going to say, the main thing this Munchlax hopes for, if I remember correctly from last season, is it wants status. Like Fire Punch to burn, Ice Punch to freeze, Body Slam to paralyze. Alright, we got by without paralysis again there. I would quick attack, but we're already faster, so there's not really a reason to. Munchlax goes down the Pelipper. And honestly, we've been out there enough turns, I may switch so that we can keep the rain up later. Although, then again, Ludicolo can set the rain itself. Hydro Pump, since it's fire type. It has Energy Ball, that'll be neutral. Pelipper hangs on like a champ. Gets off the rain boosted Hydro Pump. That's going to be a dead Ninetales. Captain Spearo's crew looking pretty good just from its lead. Alright. Basically the closest thing to the mascot pick for this team. Jinx is out there. What do we got to work with here? For Jinx. Not really much of anything. I think we just let Pelipper go down. If we do need rain later, we just have Ludicolo set it back up. Then again, the Pelipper gets the automatic setup when it comes in. We'll put Octillery in there to take a hit. Then if anything, we even just throw Pelipper back in there and let it be sacked off or something. Oh, we have Suction Cups. We'll have to see if we can get them a better ability than that later. But on the off chance we somehow don't die, we'll Flamethrower. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. I could have switched it out for Pelipper, but like Octillery, if it went back in there, would have had the same issue later. I guess it might have changed the outcome. Instead of it being like a 3-0 victory, could have been a 4. So I may have cost them a point, but we're still going to most likely get them the victory here. I'd be shocked if we don't. Jinx gets the knockout here. I could have quick attacked, but since we're in the rain anyway, like Jinx would have just got that little bit back. Alright, let's really set this thing up here. Because now with that rain up, we've got Thundering Lantern. I'm going to try Agility first, though. So we can try to be outspeeding it. Lovely Kiss. Well, now I definitely want Agility, so if we do when we do wake up, we're faster. We can wake up and get agility, then we can 100% thunder against this thing. We are going to get... Yep, there we go. Woke up right away. There's our agility. I think we would have survived another psychic anyway. Thunder. Nice hit. Got the paralysis. That's big on a fast Pokemon like Jinx. And the first turn full paralysis. Wow. Okay. There have been some shenanigans in some of the battles today. That was a big one. 100% accurate Thunder yet again. Jinx is down in the red. Paralyzed again. Oh my gosh. 2 consecutive paralysis turns. Only a 30% chance each time. The only problem now is that all of our moves are inaccurate. Hydro Pump's our best shot, so we're going to go with it. Hydro Pump does not... Oh, that was a mistake. No, it was not a mistake. I thought it had dry skin. I don't know why I was thinking that. Alright, Jinx goes down. I was going to say that could have been a really bad choice. That was me having a moment. I think subconsciously I knew it didn't have it, but for some reason I was like, wait, does it? Licky Licky. This could be a problem because I think it does have a grass move. Although, again, we are faster. Instead of switching in and having something get hit by a grass move, we're just going to go for Thunder. Since we should be faster with that agility. We land the 70% accurate Thunder. It's not much, but something. There's Power Whip. Power Whip misses. Alrighty. Thunder again. Maybe we get lucky and paralyze it at some point. Another 70% Thunder. %, Power Whip gonna hit, or maybe it's 85. It's something like that. Lantern goes down. And now we got Ludicolo and Gyarados. The #1 pick of the entire draft, Gyarados coming in. Intimidate will make that Power Whip do less damage, except it has Oblivious. Even so, there's not a whole lot it can do, because like Power Whip is neutral. We're going to Dragon Dance. Just to make sure our next hit does take it down. They go for the 75% accurate Mega Kick. Decent hit, honestly. Like that's a 2-hit knockout. The only problem for them is that Waterfall, A, could cause a flinch, and B, does not miss very often, so, really at all. And we got the Dragon Dance up, so that's going to do it. So just like that, Captain Sparrow's crew gets a win, already matches their all-time best season win mark in a season. Congrats to the Captain Sparrow's crew. They just got a good team this season. I mean, like I said, if I would have played the Octillery thing better, they would have won 3-0 instead of 2-0. So they've got a good team. Like they may be mono water, but they've done a good job in how they put that team together. All right, next up, the matchup between our preseason #1 and our preseason #2. We've got the Mystic Magikarp. Assuming I can find the logo on here. And the Shuckle Squad. These two, like I said, they were our preseason #1 and #2. Of course, it doesn't mean they'll actually end up there, but like that's who I predicted would end up there. They both have 2 legendary birds apiece. So So we'll see how this goes. As I keep bumping into my recording table with the wheel of my chair. There we go. We're going to start with Shuckle just because I don't know really what to expect. I know that, I believe Hippowdon was requested to be led, but since it's the computer player making those choices for that group, I don't know if they'll abide by that request or not. So I'm going to go Shuckle because Shuckle's got such high defenses that you can kind of start it against anything. Plus, like, of all the Pokemon brought, I don't mean this in a bad way, but, like, Shuckle's kind of the most expendable of the 5. Like, it'll hurt less than, like, losing Machamp or something like that. Machamp. Alright, yeah, there we go. Hippowdon still, so this is, something. Do we have Sturdy? We have Sturdy, so we don't have to worry about it fissuring us or anything like that. What do we have to work with? I guess we could Sludge Bomb it and hope it gets poisoned. Sludge Bomb it is! Dang, I was really hoping for that first turn poison. That would have been cool. Alright. I know we have Rest, and I should probably go Rest here, but I'm going to try one more time for poison. Because otherwise we're just going to be resting over and over and over again. 30% chance. They didn't like us enough to give us the 30% chance. Alright, Shuckle's probably going to go down, but at least we had a couple chances to poison. It didn't work out, but we had two 30% chances. In the older games, Shuckle used to get toxic, but starting with these games and onward, they kind of took that away from it, I guess because of its defenses. Let's see, that Hippowdon, if I remember, has Ice Fang, so we don't really want Zapdos or Dragonite out there. Articuno could hit with Blizzard or Sheer Cold, but we're in a sandstorm, so Blizzard's only 50% accurate. And the No Guard gets scary with Machamp because that thing does have Fissure. I guess we have to go Articuno then, with all that being said. Because a Fissure that can't miss, I don't think it works that... I'm not sure if it works that way with No Guard, but I don't want to take that chance. Like, that could be really bad. Do I go Blizzard or Sheer Cold? Because they might switch. I'm gonna go Blizzard and probably regret going for Blizzard. Darn it, yep, okay. Well, I know that they're gonna be switching and doing shenanigans then. Why? It doesn't have Eviolite. Doesn't matter, it's still tank, okay. Still at it, that's a little odd. Alright, can we land another 50% Blizzard? 2 for 2 on the 50% coin flip Blizzards. Alright. Well, that's a little disappointing. Porygon 2 didn't get really a fair chance to do anything. It was stricken down before it had a chance to start. Actually, I do notice a problem that the remaining, like, most of this team doesn't hold up super great against Aerodactyl. I mean, Aerodactyl. Where's my brain? Articuno. I was thinking of a bird that starts with A. Like, this whole team, like, Porygon 2 was neutral. Skarmory's neutral, but it doesn't have great special defense. And the other two birds are weak to ice as well, so, like, Articuno is just a really good pick for this matchup, to be frank. Blizzard again. It should be back to 70% now, which means this will be the time we miss. Three for three on Blizzard. Okay, 50%, 50%, and 70. Like, who would have guessed we couldn't miss Blizzard? We couldn't miss Blizzard, apparently. I mean, sheesh. Well, I mean, we're bound to miss eventually, but don't fix what isn't broken, right? Alright, there's Rock Slide. That's going to hurt a lot. The Articuno survives it because it's bulky. 4 for 4 on Blizzard. Unreal. Unreal. The only saving grace is that for the opposing team is that we're almost out of Blizzard. Holy cow. Alright, we got Galarian Moltres in the game now. We got one more Blizzard, why not? Sucker Punch, do we survive it? We do not. They still have Hippowdon in the back, who could switch into our Thunder. Ooh, but that might be a way to bait them. If they switch and put up Sand, but then we immediately switch to Rain Dance, we'd have 100% Hurricanes. Because I guarantee you they're not going to want to stick around and take a Thunder from Zapdos. Guarantee you that. I guarantee you they're not going to want to stick around. I'm going to Rain Dance. I'm calling this bluff. Yep, they're switching. Is it Hippowdon? Yes! I got that! Oh, we're set up for this one. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I have, not sure if it's cold or sinus infection, whatever it is. But, man, I called that. Oh my gosh. Come on, confuse it, confuse it. Yes! Because we're going to need that, because it does have Ice Fang. Alright, did not hurt itself. Zapdos, tankier on that hit than I thought it was going to be, though. Another 100% Hurricane. Hippowdon goes down. Oh, brother. Yeah, twin. How you doing there? Oh, it's weak to both, and both are going to hit in the storm. The paralysis would be nice because it's fast, though. Well, moderately fast. Throat Chop. Alright, our Zapdos survives, gets 100% Thunder. Oh wow, one shot's its counterpart. Alright, just big bad Galarian Moltres left. The real question is going to be, does it Sucker Punch KO us from here? Oh, it does not! Ooh, but it does survive the Thunder. Uh-oh, and there's the Berserk. I had a feeling they'd go for Sucker Punch. We'll set up the rain anyway. See, they only get 5 Sucker Punches. We didn't do a PP up for any of the moves in this league. So they've done it at least twice, Sucker Punch. And landed, plus the miss, that's 3. They've only got 2 left. We might be able to stall out the Sucker Punch. That'd be funny. Put Machamp in, assuming they're going to try to Sucker Punch again. Oh. That one was an empty can. This one's the one that has my drink in it. Yes, I can tell them apart. I wrote in Sharpie on the one I... Yeah. Okay. Well... Stone Edge, if we don't die before... If we don't die before we can knock it out. Machamp does go down in 1 shot. I'm not that surprised. To be fair, we sort of had the rain used against us there. Not sort of, definitely. Although, again, with us having no guard, it would have hit anyway, so I guess it really doesn't matter. We have our own Hurricane we can do here. Ooh, there's its signature move. If we flinch, we're in trouble. We did not flinch. We get our own Hurricane off. Moltres goes down to Dragonite. And that is a 2-0 victory for the Shuckle Squad. I'm noticing a theme here. Every single battle's been 2-0 so far. Of course, now that I've brought attention to it, that means the next battle's going to be like 4-0. Alright, we got 1 battle left. The main event rivalry-wise, we've got Nightmare AC against my Fairmont Flygon, which for some reason's on the same side. That shouldn't be the case. There we go. Little awkward to be playing against my own team. It always is, but I also would like to say that over the years we've been playing for 5 years, I've won once, and it was the year that we had the least amount of teams in the league, so less competition. So clearly I'm not throwing things in my favor, or I would have won a lot more often. All right. Let's see here. Gotta get the teams right that are participating. I got mine. I'm waiting for my opponent here to confirm that they got the right one. Hate for them to mess up my own team, literally. I mean, I want to win, but I don't want to win because the other guy messed something up. Alright, they got the right one. Alright, it was requested to me by Tyler to lead with Rotom Heat. So we will lead with Rotom Heat. I think that's pretty simple. It will be interesting having to work around the Weezing and the Ditto, though. Because if we boost anything too high, like if we Swords Dance too much or anything like that, Ditto's going to be scary. And the Weezing having Will-O-Wisp, our physical attackers are in big trouble except for Blaziken. So, both teams have good counters to each other here. Latios to start. We could Thunder Wave it, slow it down. Alright. I didn't put any ground types at the... Smart play. Smart play. Didn't think about that. I always think about using Ditto late game, like saving it for the home stretch, but that was a good play because now our Thunder Wave isn't going to do anything. Alright, let's see if we move first and can Volt Switch. We do win the coin toss there. With it being that type right now, we put Garchomp in. Alright, blocking its Volt Switch. I'm going to Swords Dance because it can't do anything. I mean, even if it overheats, that's not going to hurt us much. They were smart on their part, taking it back so Ditto could transform to something else eventually. Suicune. Suicune's defensive, but we are going to have the Swords Dance out. And this is one of those critical moments of a battle where I've got to make a gut decision. Do I stay in with the boost and try to attack? Or do I take Garchomp out because I know that Suicune has Ice Beam? But if they assume I'm taking it out, they might go Hydro Pump. Metagross could work, but if it went Sheer Cold instead, it could take out the Metagross. I'm going to go for Earthquake and see what happens. If I play this wrong, all the criticism can be thrown at me that there is. Good hit, it survives, of course it does. There's the Ice Beam. Garchomp does survive it, though. Why are they pulling this? Okay. I mean, I get that our Earthquake isn't going to hit the levitating Latios, but, like, now the Suicune's, like, dead the next time it goes in the battle because it's got so low health. Like, what was the thought process there? Another gamble here. Garchomp's fast enough it can work with what it's got left here. Metagross pretty much survives everything that Latios does. Yep, okay. I'm gonna agility. What are they doing? They're taking their sweet time again is what they're doing. Alright, Latios coming back already. We got Ditto again. Okay. I mean, we'll still have the speed. At least it won't be a coin flip on who goes first because we have the agility up. But we didn't up our attack, just our speeds. Now it becomes, do I think we can beat it with Earthquake? I don't think we can, but we're going to hurt it a lot. And again, as scary as Ditto can be, I think it's important to just get damage on it, even if we're going to take damage too. Alright, surely they're not going to stay in, right? Like, surely they are not going to stay in as Ditto. What do we got? Meteor Mash doesn't really help us here against anything except Wheezing. Maybe the Aggron if it showed up. I'm going to go for it, though, just in case. Just in case. Alright, Ditto retreats again. It's Suicune. Okay. Why? I certainly wouldn't have chosen Suicune there if it was me. Suicune survives, of course it does. Ooh, that's big though. We got the attack boost, so we've got attack and speed now. Which one of these two is, but they're both 90. See, I know Earthquake's more accurate, but I gotta go one of these two, because if they would switch in one of the levitating Pokemon, they just get a free switch in. So we're gonna go Zen Headbutt. Of course. Of freaking course. By the way, it also lands its 80% accurate move after we miss our 90% accurate move. Just throwing that out there. Well, on the bright side, we know that Garchomp outspeeds it, as well as Weavile. Heck, Weavile doesn't have to outspeed it, just Ice Shard it. I mean, it's got to have like 2, 3, 4, something like that at this point. I can't believe that just happened, though. I called that, too. Alright, well, Ice Shard it. Alright. Is it dead? Okay, it's dead. Unreal, man. Unreal. Oh, there's the Wheezing. Now, this one is a little scary. I don't know. We don't really match up super great with it with any of the Pokemon on this team. Rotom maybe can do something. Garchomp can't Earthquake it or Dragon Rush it, so we're stuck with just Rock Slide. I think we gotta switch to Rotom here. There's not a whole lot Rotom can do to it either. Okay, it could miss too, that works. Thunder Wave it. But man, that's a couple battles today. We've had the first turn full paralysis. If we use Overheat, our attack is going to drop. So let's try one Thunder, and if we get in trouble, we can Overheat and then Volt Switch. Or even just straight up Volt Switch. We missed the Thunder, of course we do. Is it going to poison us first try? It did not. Okay, I was going to say, the way this is going, I wouldn't be shocked. To say, we need Rotom, I was going to say, to do some damage to this thing is fully paralyzed again. Wow. I was saying, because this Wheezing could, like, really be a problem for the other Pokemon on this team. We need to take it out with Rotom, or it could wreak havoc. Another Mist Thunder, really? We're lucky enough it hasn't poisoned it. Overheat's 90, right? We're going to go Overheat, just to try and get rid of this thing. If we missed overheat there, I was gonna get upset. Alright, Galarian Weezing is down. Rotom has taken some damage. There's the Aggron making its first appearance. We don't really have anything that wants to get hit by this thing. Let's Thunder Wave it, because it usually does Autonomize, and then tries to use that speed the rest of the way. This will make it so that that's not really a thing. Another first turn paralysis. Wow. Alright, let's Volt Switch and get the heck out of there. Let's see. The only problem with me Volt Switching is I now have to put something else in. I know for a fact that now that it's been damaged, Weavile's low kick can beat it. So I'm going to put Blaziken in there, knowing that we have the Weavile to defeat the Aggron. Fights through paralysis and lands Stone Edge on the first try. Of course it does. Alright, we're going to protect and get the speed boost before we go for the kill punch here. Kill attack. Kill shot. Alright, you're back up to like maybe normal speed now because of the paralysis. Meanwhile, Blaziken's faster than it already was. I don't see you surviving a close combat, Aggron. Yep, Aggron goes down. Yeah, losing Weezing really hurt the Flygon's chances. That was a Pokemon that could have handled just about... It really could have handled any of the Pokemon on this team except Rotom, and Rotom is the one that they left it in against, and we saw how that went. Alright, they went with Latios for some reason here. I know it's got the type effectiveness, but, like, still an odd choice. I don't know. They could go Psychic here. I think with the speed boost, we just have to go for... Let's see, what do they got left? Ditto could be anything. I think we go Rock Slide here. And just do whatever damage we can to get Latios weakened. It did go Dragon Pulse. Maybe we get another turn. Nope. Rock Slide also has a chance to flinch, so there was that chance too. Alright, let's see. Latios. We can put Weavile in, but if we don't beat it with Night Slash right away, it does have Aura Sphere. We can put you in, but Dragon Rush could miss. And all your moves are not very effective against the Latios. But you could maybe at least slow it down with Thunder Wave, but it's faster, so it'll probably kill you before you get the chance to Thunder Wave it. I think I have to put Weavile in here. Actually, it might outspeed Garchomp now that I think about it. I know Latios does. I'm pretty sure, anyway. I think our only chances of Night Slash gets the job done here. Oh, so close. Do we survive the Aura Sphere? Probably not. We do not. I keep writing the scores down wrong. It got a knock. It got beat, not getting a knockout. Okay. It outspeeds Rotom for sure. Garchomp, there's a chance. I don't think it does, but there's a chance. If it outspeeds both of them, this battle's over anyway. We're going to Rock Slide on the off chance that we're faster. We are not faster. And for those wondering, even though this Garchomp's running Sand Veil, that was a special move, so Rough Skin wouldn't have done anything anyway. Did any of the other Pokemon, now that I think about it, attack Garchomp head-on like that in this battle? No, because the Suicune hit it with Ice Beam, so in this particular battle, the ability of Garchomp did not make a difference. Alright, Rotom, let's see if you would have gotten the knockout on Latios. You shouldn't outspeed it, yep. But do you survive a Dragon Pulse? You do not, so I was right to put Weavile out there first. Darn it. Well, bittersweet there. On one hand, I'm happy my team won. On the other hand, really didn't get some breaks there that I wish we would have got. Night Slash is a high critical chance, critical hit chance move. We didn't get the crit. As you guys saw, Latios barely survived, so a crit would have knocked it out, obviously. Me making the mistake earlier, I call it a mistake now in hindsight. It really was kind of an up for grabs, like gut decision. Me leaving Garchomp in, and it turned out they left Suicune in, and we got Ice Beamed. That was unfortunate. Ditto wasn't really used the way I would use it, but it did create some problems. Yeah, that was a close battle. It could have gone either way. And oh my gosh, are you kidding me? We had another 2-0 outcome. Well, all 5 battles were 2-0 victories. I can guarantee that won't happen again this season. Everyone hold on just a moment while I'm going to update the standings, and I'll be right back to show them off to you guys. Maybe. If the recording will let me. Huh, that's weird. Why will you not let me? That is weird. Huh. Well, I keep saying that I'm gonna have issues with the new setup. In the old Windows version of this, I was able to just hit a pause button during the recordings. In the Mac version of this, not so much. Not so much. Interesting that that's the case. So instead of pausing and resuming, I guess we're going to do everything in one shot here. Interesting enough. Well, in that case, you guys will get to see me do the changes. There we go. Alright, so the Flygon. Let's see, these wins need to be in bold if I can get the changes here. Text. Oh my gosh. Okay, you know what? Never mind. I'll put it in bold later. Win 2-0. Nightmare loses 2-0. Great Garchomp also lost. So both of the teams that were in the championship last season lost their openers. That's interesting way. That's an interesting way for us to start the season off. Let's see, who won that game? Was that Harper's Ferry? That Rapidash was scary at the end. Harper's Ferry won, okay. Alright. Harper's Ferry. I'm sorry, Harper's Ferry was the one that won, not Squirtle Squad. I got distracted there. Alright. Captain Spiro's crew, they won their game 2-0. This is why point differential is so important. Not every week is going to be 2-0 like this. Alright, going down to Shuckle Squad. They won 2-0. Mystic Magikarp lost 2-0. And of course, Team Stevie had a bye. So, this first week of the season, I'm not going to update the all-time until later in the season, because that'll just take too long to do it, to update it every week. So, for this week, I was... Let's see, 0-1, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2 against the computer. Winning about 60% of the game, so a little under the average of 2/3. That's where we are right now. I don't even need a calculator to calculate that win percentage. Sorry, my cat was making an odd noise there, so I had my attention dramatically changed there. Alright, so... This is one thing I don't like about numbers compared to Excel, is I can't, like, reorganize the chart real easy here. But, I will still update. We'll have the chart reorganized, by the next time. But, we do get to put win-loss records in here. 0 for games behind, 1 for game behind. 0-1 there. 0-1 there. Look at this. The teams that were 2, 3, 4 all got beat in the season opener. Showing once again that even though I had those rankings, it doesn't necessarily mean much. Harper's Ferry Haunter won their game. Of course, the other thing those teams had in common is that two of them were controlled by me, so I guess I cost them. Or the computer was just luckier. Squad 101. Captain Spiro 1-0. Team Stevie did not play, so 0-0, so that's half a game behind. Smoochum 0-1. Point differential -2. 0, 2, -2, 2, 2, 2, -2, -2, -2, and 2. Alright. Is there a way to reorganize it, please? There's gotta be a way to... Oh, please. Nope, don't want to do that. Oh my gosh, come on. Am I literally not allowed to, like, highlight? I cannot. Okay. Okay, there we go. Gosh, I had to make it stubborn. Okay. Sort selected. I don't want to do rows. I want to do columns. Okay, close. Hey, there we go. It took some doing, but I got it. Let's actually do it this way. Oh, are you okay? There we go. Other way around. I'm learning this real time. Why is it putting the ones ahead of the 0.5s? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, it's because I'm doing column D. Column F. There we go. Hey, there we go. We figured it out. It messed things up, I think, over here. Sure as heck did, but it's all still accurate, I guess, info. So I'll have to play around with that. But at least now you can see how the standings look. 1-0, 0-1, all that. All right, let's update some statistics here. We're just going to go down the line because that'll make it easier for me to tell what I have and haven't done. Fairmont Flygon today. Latias was the star. It played in its first game of the season. It had 4 knockouts, 0 faints. Suicune played today. Suicune, 1 knockout, 1 faint. No Regice for Flygon today. Aggron played. As far as statistically, it did absolutely nothing. It did weaken the Blaziken, but, like, again, statistically speaking, didn't do anything except lose. No Crobat or Starmie or Snorlax. Weezing! Also, again, on paper, did absolutely nothing. Ditto played. It didn't get a knockout or a faint. It just showed up in the game. That's what Ditto did. Alright. So now, just to make that look a little prettier, see, this is column D. There we go. Alright. Nightmare AC put up a really good fight. Garchomp played, and Garchomp... Okay, there won't be very many days like this, but Garchomp going down without a knockout. That will not happen very often, if again this season. And also Metagross. So the top 2 picks for Nightmare are not getting a knockout this week. Metagross was real close because it did get that boost. That was so unfortunate missing the Zen Headbutt. I really, really hope the owner of this team doesn't hold it against me that some of the things played out the way they did. Because I tried in the moment to explain my thought process as I was making decisions. I could have gone Earthquake, but they also could have switched in Latias or Weezing at the time, and the Earthquake would have done nothing. So, like, I went with the 90% accurate move. We missed, and then the opponent landed an 80% accurate move against us. So, I hope my opponent doesn't hold that against me when it was more so just kind of how the game operates. Rotom Heat. 1 knockout, 1 faint. Rotom actually played a pretty big part in that battle because it shut down the Ditto there for a while, as well as the Latias. Blaziken played. Knockout and a faint. Weavile played, and it was so close to... If Weavile would have beat Latias, that would have really turned things around. Because then, even if Ditto turns into Weavile, like, there's a chance that... Well, there's a chance that the Ditto wins anyway. Depending on who wins the speed tie between the 2 Weaviles. But, there's a chance that it wouldn't have even got the shot to go after Garchomp or Rotom Heat. Weavile, 1-1. That's where where Nightmare After Christmas, or Nightmare AC is. Let's get row H organized there. I'm dumb. I don't have the thing. There we go. Okay, so if I fix one, it changes the other. Yeah, I'll have this fixed up next time on, so it's a little more permanent, but you can see some of the numbers there at least. All right, Cresselia. Going back to the front page now. See, I normally would take this boring stuff out, but since I couldn't pause the video, you're getting to see the whole experience this week. Cresselia 2-1 after playing a game. Steelix played. It died. Fainted, you know what I mean. Altaria played and it fainted. Milotic played and it fainted. The Powdon female made the battle look like it was going to be way out of hand with a first turn fissure, and then that was it. I'm not going to bother to reorganize anymore since it's just going to change every time I switch teams. All right, Tyranitar. I don't know if you can really count that as a game played. It didn't get a chance to do anything. Team won, though, so I mean, yeah. Moltres did not play, despite showing up. So instead of it being blank, I'm going to put a 0 so that, like, we know it showed up. It just did not get to play. Walrein played, and Walrein got 2 knockouts before getting defeated. Walrein was a big part of the Power's success last season. Magnezone played. It got beat, but it did whittle down Cresselia while it was out there. And Rhyperior played. With some of the speed being out of the way by the time it got out there, it got 3 knockouts and was just awesome. Squirtle Squad. Raikou played. It had a knockout and a faint. Entei played. Also had a knockout and a faint. Vaporeon played. Again, 1-1. Rapidash, despite having a chance, did not get any knockouts. And Arcanine, same thing, did not get a single knockout. Harper's Fairy Haunter, Heatran, their best Pokemon from last season. It played and didn't do anything. Alright. Azelf got destroyed. Charizard had a pretty good showing. Charizard getting 2 knockouts and a faint, showing that sometimes being a mixed attacker has its advantages. It had some physical and some special. When its physical got knocked down, it was still able to hurricane like crazy and have good damage. Kingdra, 1-1. Same thing with Kingdra, a little bit of both. And then Regirock coming through at the very end with 2 knockouts in the game. Captain Spiro's crew. Gyarados gets a knockout. Lantern had a knockout and a faint. It did some good work while it was in there, though. Pelipper also did some amazing work while it was in there with 3 knockouts and a faint. Octillery got beat. That was really more bad switching on my part. This is the one game that could have been 3-0 instead of 2-0 this week. That was my fault, and I've admitted that already on camera. I'm admitting it again now. It was my fault. Ludicolo will put the 0 because it was brought, but it did not play. Did I fill out the other bars? I did not for Moltres. Let me go ahead and do that. Just as extra, like, hey, it didn't play, but was there. There we go. Smooch 'em or lose 'em. Jinx 2 knockouts and a feint. Licky Licky. 1 knockout and a feint. I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that, folks. We go down to Ninetales, who has now officially played. They will likely get cut this week, because for whatever reason this team was upset with drafting Ninetales later on. Jigglypuff played, as well as Munchlax, and they both just got beat and did not knock anyone out. Munchlax at least contributed, though, with several body slams. Alright, Shuckle Squad. We're down to the last 2 to update here. Zapdos showed why it is such a good Pokemon. 2 knockouts, no feints. Articuno had a great game. 2 knockouts and a feint. I wanted Articuno so bad going into the draft. Like, I thought about picking it first, but Latios was still there, so I was like, I'll get it. Try to get Articuno round 2. Shuckle Squad took Articuno round 2 and kind of ruined those plans. And then I settled for Suicune. Although some people would argue that they think Suicune's better, but I like Articuno more. Let's see. Shuckle played. It didn't beat anybody, but there will be other battles where Sludge Bomb does poison something, and Shuckle will contribute more than it did today. Machamp also had a rough game, but I think that it'll be good. That no guard ability is just awesome. I mean, dynamic punches they hit every time. That's a tough one to stop. And then there's Dragonite, who had a knockout. Elsa, get out of there. Elsa, come on. Get out of the cat room. Sorry, everybody. My dog is being a butt and trying to get into the cat room. Alright. No, you're not going in there. Alrighty. Mystic Magikarp. Galarian Zapdos. It's a great Pokemon, but unfortunately it ran into its older brother that reminded it was its older brother. Moltres Galarian had a great game. 2 knockouts and a feint. Could have been more, potentially. The computer player was relying a little too much on Sucker Punch, if you ask me. Porygon 2 did not get a chance to shine. It was also kind of mismanaged by the other player. So I think it'll be better in the future. Skarmory, 0-1 as well. And then Hippowdon with a knockout and a feint. And really the story of this team was just it didn't match up well with Articuno. Like, it blew some holes open that made it easier for Zapdos and Dragonite to get the win. I think if these two teams rematched, and, like, it could even be as small as, like, a 1 Pokemon difference. Looking at what they got, maybe say either Lucario or Alolan Ninetales in place of one of those that didn't match up well. All of a sudden it's a different game. But you could also make the same argument the other way if you put Gengar in the game that could fight Lucario or Ninetales. So, like, honestly, both teams are still very, very good. It's just unfortunate one of them had to have a loss to start the season because they played each other. Alright, so next week the matchups will be my Fairmont Flygon will be controlled by me against the Great Garchomp. Nightmare AC will be controlled by me against the Pokemon Power. Squirtle Squad will be controlled by me against Smoochum or Lose'em. Harper's Ferry Haunter will be controlled by me against Captain Sparrow's crew. The Shuckle Squad will be controlled by the computer. I'll be controlling Team Stevie against the Shuckle Squad next week. And the Mystic Magikarp will take their one and only bye of the season next week before returning to play Team Stevie in week 3. Alright, I hope you all liked what you saw here today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, you know, all that nonsense. And I'll see you next time with week 2 of the Pokemon Swish Draft League. Alright, thanks again. Bye-bye.